Nose piercings have adorned human faces for over 4,000 years, evolving from cultural and religious traditions into modern fashion statements. Here's a complete breakdown of every nose piercing type you might encounter. Nostril piercing. Located in the fleshy curve of either nostril within the natural crease, like the nostril piercing rates 3 to 5 out of 10 for a quick pinch that most find quite tolerable. Healing takes 2 to 4 months, though complete internal healing may extend to 6 months. Jewelry options include nose studs, screw, L-shape, bone, flat back labrets, seamless rings, segment rings, and decorative pieces with gemstones. Historically significant in South Asian cultures, where it symbolizes fertility and marital status, this versatile piercing has become globally popular for its aesthetic appeal and straightforward healing process, making it ideal for piercing beginners. High nostril piercing, positioned higher on the nose near the nasal bone where cartilage is firmer, the high nostril piercing causes more intense discomfort, 6 to 7 out of 10, and requires a longer 6 to 9 month healing period. Jewelry options are more limited due to the specialized location, primarily flatback labrets and custom bent studs, as standard nostril jewelry often sits at incorrect angles. Many enthusiasts pair high nostril piercings with standard nostril piercings for a striking stacked look. The higher placement makes this piercing particularly elegant when adorned with small gemstones that catch light with facial movements. Septum piercing. Passing through the columella or sweet spot, the thin membrane between nostrils, not the cartilage, properly placed septum piercing rates 4 to 6 out of 10 for pain and heals relatively quickly in 3 to 4 months. The diverse jewelry options include circular barbells, also called horseshoes, that can be flipped up to hide the piercing, captive bead rings, clickers with decorative designs, pinchers for a tribal look, and septum retainers for maximum discretion. This piercing holds cultural significance across numerous indigenous traditions while simultaneously enjoying mainstream popularity for its versatility and ability to be concealed when necessary. Bridge piercing. This horizontal surface piercing crosses the upper nose bridge, typically aligned with the inner corners of the eyebrows. Recipients experience pressure rather than sharp pain, 6 to 7 out of 10, with an 8 to 10 month healing period and higher rejection risk due to minimal tissue depth and constant facial movement. Straight barbells and specialized surface bars work best for this striking piercing that creates a symmetrical focal point. Not everyone has suitable anatomy. Your piercer should evaluate your nose bridge to ensure sufficient pinchable tissue before proceeding with this distinctive modification. Nasallang piercing. One of the most complex nose piercings, the Nasallang passes through both nostrils and the septum in one continuous straight line, appearing as two separate nostril piercings while using a single piece of jewelry. Pain ranks among the highest for facial piercings, 8 to 9 out of 10, with a demanding 6 to 9 month healing period. Only long, straight barbells made from high-quality materials suit this piercing, which requires an exceptionally skilled piercer with thorough understanding of nasal structure to ensure proper alignment through all 3 points. Despite its challenges, this piercing offers a uniquely symmetrical appearance unachievable with separate piercings. Rhino piercing, vertical tip. The rhino piercing creates a dramatic profile by entering vertically through the tip of the nose and exiting at the bottom where the nose meets the face. This path through cartilage results in significant discomfort, 7 to 8 out of 10, and requires 6 to 9 months to heal completely. Curved barbells are the only suitable jewelry, creating the distinctive rhinoceros horn appearance that gives this piercing its name. Not all nose shapes can accommodate this piercing. Those with thinner nose tips or less projected noses may lack sufficient tissue for proper placement and healing of this eye-catching vertical modification. Septril piercing. This advanced piercing requires a multi-stage process beginning with a healed and stretched septum, at least 10 gauge, 2.4 millimeters, before creating a channel from the stretched septum tunnel through the bottom of the nose tip. The piercing itself rates around 7 out of 10 for pain, with 4 to 6 months additional healing after placement. Most septril piercings require custom curved barbells due to their unique angle. This rare piercing creates a distinctive look with jewelry emerging from beneath the nose tip, combining elements of both septum and rhino piercings for body modification enthusiasts seeking something truly unique. Austin bar piercing. Passing horizontally through the nose tip and both nostrils without penetrating the septum, the Austin bar piercing rates 7 to 8 out of 10 for pain and
Ouch.
requires 3 to 6 months to heal properly. Straight barbells create the appearance of small beads on both sides of the nose tip. This piercing offers a less intense alternative to the Nasallang while still creating a dramatic, symmetrical effect. The placement requires sufficient nose tip projection and width to accommodate the jewelry without excessive pressure on the tissues, making anatomical evaluation essential before proceeding. Third eye vertical bridge piercing. Centered between the eyebrows on the bridge of the nose, this vertical surface piercing corresponds to the sixth chakra in various Eastern traditions. Pain levels average 6 to 7 out of 10, with an 8 to 10 month healing period and higher rejection risk than many facial piercings. Surface bars with flat ends or specialized curved barbells provide the best results. This piercing's location makes it vulnerable during facial expressions and while wearing eyeglasses. Despite its challenges, the third eye piercing creates a uniquely meaningful addition to facial adornment, particularly popular among those interested in spiritual symbolism. Horizontal nose piercing. Running parallel to the ground along one side of the nose bridge or nostril, this surface piercing rates 6 to 7 out of 10 for pain
Ouch.
and requires 6 to 8 months of careful healing. Surface bars with flat ends provide the most stable results, though this piercing has a higher than average rejection rate due to constant facial movement and minimal tissue depth. Those considering this piercing should have realistic expectations about its potential lifespan, as many bodies eventually reject the jewelry despite proper aftercare. When successful, it creates a distinctive linear accent that highlights the natural contours of the nose. Double triple nostril piercings. Multiple piercings on one or both nostrils create stunning geometric patterns or symmetrical arrangements that enhance facial features. Each individual piercing feels similar to a standard nostril piercing, 3 to 5 out of 10, and heals within 2 to 4 months. Vertical stacks follow the curve of the nostril, diagonal patterns create dynamic lines, and symmetrical placements achieve perfect balance. The beauty of this style lies in mixing jewelry types, studs with gemstones, simple rings, and ornate pieces for endless customization. An experienced piercer will consider your specific nasal anatomy when planning multiple piercings to ensure proper spacing and placement that complements your features. Mantis piercing. Named for its resemblance to a praying mantis's sensory organs, this piercing features paired perforations at the front base of the nostrils where they meet the face, pointing forward rather than sideways. Pain levels average 5 to 6 out of 10, with 2 to 4 months healing time. Studs and small curved barbells showcase this distinctive placement that highlights nostril symmetry from the front view. The mantis piercing works particularly well on noses with defined nostrils and a prominent tip, though skilled piercers can adapt the placement to various nasal structures. The forward-facing orientation makes this piercing less likely to catch on clothing than side-placed nostril jewelry. Septum stretching. This modification gradually expands a healed septum piercing to accommodate larger jewelry, beginning only after the initial piercing is fully healed. The process involves inserting slightly larger jewelry in small increments with 1 to 2 months between stretches. Pain
Ouch.
varies by stretch size, 3 to 7 out of 10, with most experiencing pressure rather than sharp
Ouch.
pain when done correctly. Once stretched, options include pinchers for a tribal look, tunnels that allow visibility through the piercing, plugs for a solid appearance, and large diameter rings for dramatic effect. This modification combines cultural tradition with contemporary aesthetics for those seeking a more substantial nasal adornment. Nasal crest piercing. This rare piercing follows the thin skin along the top ridge of the nose, requiring exceptional piercer skill and specific nasal anatomy. Pain levels average 7 out of 10 with a 6 to 9 month healing period and higher rejection risk due to minimal tissue along the nasal crest. Custom curved barbells or specialized surface bars accommodate this anatomically challenging placement that works best on noses with pronounced ridges and sufficient tissue depth. The unique placement creates a distinctive profile enhancement that draws attention to the natural line of the nose, making it sought after by those looking for truly uncommon body modifications. Mix and match, septum and nostril combination. Combining a septum piercing with one or more nostril piercings creates a harmonious, multidimensional look that enhances facial symmetry. Pain
Okay.
and healing vary by individual piercing. 3 to 6 out of 10 pain, 2 to 4 months healing. Horseshoe barbells or ornate clickers in the septum can complement subtle nostril studs for a balanced look, or both can feature bold jewelry for maximum impact. This pairing works with virtually all face shapes, with placement customized to enhance specific features. The ability to hide the septum piercing by flipping up a horseshoe while leaving nostril jewelry visible offers flexibility for professional situations while still maintaining facial adornment.